Welcome to another episode of the Wisdom and the Tangents podcast. This is a bonus episode. This is not Monday. This is not your regularly scheduled content. This is not when you should be tuning into Wisdom and the Tangents. What are you doing? What am I doing? Let me explain. This is the best of episode. This is something that I like to do every January, just a fun look back over conversations that we've had over the year, guests who have come on, some solo shows that I've done. One of my solo shows made it in the top 5, spoiler alert. But normally I do like little clips, and we'll just like throw to one of those episodes and just listen to a little clip of it, and you can go listen to the whole thing if you want to. This year, doing something a little different. I can make Spotify playlists with different podcast episodes. So look forward to lots of those in 2024. I feel like this is going to be something I'm really going to enjoy. So I've made those for a couple conferences that I've been to recently that guests who were on the show were speakers at the conference or fellow attendees at that conference. So I compiled all of those episodes into a playlist. So you can go search for Wit Pod playlists and should pop up. For this one, you can search on Spotify for Best of 2023 Wit Pod, and it'll be these 5 episodes, and you can just binge listen to these. So if you're new here, this is a great way to start because these are the most listened to episodes of 2023. And if you're old here, if you've been here for a while, these are great to revisit. Or maybe you missed them whenever they first came out, and now you can go back and listen easily in that playlist. And if you're like, well, I don't listen on Spotify, how do I do this? In the show notes, I will have links for all of those for Apple, and then you can figure out if you're like on Crowdcast or Overcast or any of the other casts playlists out there. But I know most of y'all listen on Apple, so I'll have all of those linked. You can just click on them in the show notes, and it'll take you right there. Quick note on the best of. Not that this really matters, but because we're like early January right now, I'm going through December of 2022 through November of 2023 uh, to pick your best ofs, and then we'll do December episodes for next year, just because they're fresh and y'all are still like downloading them and listening and all of that. So let's get started with number 5, the 5th most downloaded episode, the one that y'all listen to a lot, is Jess Golden, episode number 154. They were on the show. I believe this was their second time on the show. Yes, because the first time would have been like before episode 100. But yeah, Jess was on. We talked about evolving as a business owner and how you can pivot and change and what that looks like. I have done a lot of pivots and changes even since um, episode 154, which I mean, this is like what, episode 190 5 or something. It was like 40 something episodes ago. That was, let's see, January 16th. We're coming up on the 1 year anniversary of that one in just a couple weeks. But yeah, Jess is great. They're local to the Houston area, so we've met in person, which is fun. And yeah, it was a really great episode. We got very deep, a little emotional at times about how we evolve as business owners. So show notes, episode 154. I'll have the link for you, or you can just go to the Spotify playlist. Next, number 4 is my solo show. And I already spoiled this a little bit, but didn't tell you what it was. And it is the Photographer Gift Guide of 2022. So, like I said, this was going from December of 22 on through November of 23. So, this one made it in there because a lot of y'all downloaded it and listened to the photography gift guide. I did not get around to making one for 2023. I ended up just sharing the one for 2022 again with anyone who follows on social media. But still, all of those links on there are great. All of the items are still really useful for photographers. And they're things that aren't just like that you would normally purchase for yourself. They're like fun things or like really, I don't know, really useful tactical stuff that maybe you wouldn't just go spend 20, 30 bucks on. But it's great if you have a photographer friend in your life that you want to gift them a little something without being like, here is a $500 lens, or here's a whole new camera body system. They're little things that range from, I think the cheapest one's like 15 bucks on up to like 100 plus for some of those things. But it's fun photographer gift guide. They're also really great if people are constantly asking you, "Hey, what do you want? What do you want for your birthday? What do you want for Christmas? What do you want for these things?" You can just shoot them over that guide or add all those to your Amazon list or whatever. And then boom, they've got an easy list for things to buy you. And that was episode 151, which I said earlier was in 2022. So that was December 15th was the original air date on that one. I don't know why the air dates mean anything to y'all, but I'm just going to say what they are. And the air date for this next one, number 3 in the countdown, because we're just moving along here. Number 3 was, I just set down my phone. Number 3 was March 20th of 2023. This is episode 163 with Melise Miller. She is a brand photographer out of Utah. Yes, she's in Utah. We met in Utah, so I was like, was she local? But yes, she is local in Utah, Salt Lake City area. Um, but yeah, she photographs all over the place, and we talked about how the market is only saturated if you look like everybody else, and how she has really taken her brand photography and just made it unique, made it something different, and made it to where it's not just every old brand photographer just, on their laptop and smiling at the camera and holding a coffee mug and that kind of stuff, but it has a lot of heart, a lot of art, a lot of creativity in her brand photos. So yeah, Melise Miller, episode 163. And again, that'll be in the Spotify list. On to episode 2, or countdown number 2, wherever we are. This is the second to the last one. And it's also the very next episode from episode 163. It is 164. And that was with my friend Molly McCauley. So April 3rd, 2023, Molly McCauley was on the show. We talked about how to curate your portfolio to transform your brand. Really great episode. If you feel kind of stuck, like you're just, I know here in Texas, a lot of the photographers that I talk to and that I coach are just like, I am tired of barn weddings. I don't like them. I don't want to shoot anymore, which is valid. I photograph a lot of barn weddings as well because it's Texas, and half of our venues, or more than that, are just repurposed barns. But curating your portfolio will help you get out of that. Will help you, don't showcase your portfolio all these photos from barn weddings. Maybe that's all that you have, but like Molly talks about how you can take certain photos at maybe a venue that you don't really want to shoot at, but you can angle it at a certain way or pick a backdrop that looks like a more, a luxury event, or a more like a destination type thing, or more of a backyard wedding feel, whatever your end goal is for your portfolio. And then you can take those even at those venues. She talks about setting up styled shoots, lots of great tips. Molly's just completely transformed her business in how it was, even 5 years ago, with all of these styled shoots that she puts together. She has the Make Pretty workshops. A lot of those are in like New York and Paris, and those are just amazing. Number two on the countdown is Molly McCauley in episode 164. Again, that'll be in the playlist. And the number one episode that you downloaded the most in 2023 was also from 2023. I guess my photography gift guide was the only one from 2022, but your number one episode aired January 9th, 2023. It's episode 153. We talked about posing with purpose. As my friend Ivan Wagman, y'all loved that episode a lot. I loved that episode a lot. I love talking with Ivan. Ivan's great. I want to have him back on the show again. Little behind the scenes, we actually recorded that episode in like July of 2022, and then just didn't air it for a while for scheduling reasons. Um, but it was great. I loved getting to talk to him, and I was saying that because it's like I'd love to have him back on the show because it feels like such a long time ago that we talked because it was a year and a half ago. But yeah, posing with purpose. Ivan's got such a great outlook on how to pose your couples, how to pose senior portraits with purpose, where it's not just these cookie cutter, let's do this, or you have your five poses that you just kind of cycle back through again, but it's really creating an experience and posing them in a way that's going to elevate and like bring out their personalities, which is so great. And I feel like that is where the industry is going, where people want their personalities to be seen in the photos and they don't want as much of the superposed, looks like everyone else type photos. So, your number one episode, Ivan Wagner, episode 153. Um, you can go check that out in the show notes. I will also have that in the Spotify playlist. But yeah, that's it for today. Short, sweet. Just wanted to do a brief little recap on the your best ofs for 2023. Thank you so much for listening, for downloading, for sharing this podcast, for interacting with me on social media. This has been a really great year, getting to know a lot of y'all, getting to meet some of y'all at conferences and things. I've already talked to a few of you who are going to be at conferences that I'll be at here in 2024. So I'm excited to meet more of y'all in person. But yeah, thank you for listening. I'm super grateful for this whole community and all of y'all who decided to press play. And looking very much forward to more conversations, more interaction with y'all in 2024. So see you next week, or I guess I'll see you on Monday, because this is midweek right now. So I'll see you in just a few days on Monday with another episode. Bye, y'all.